What is the white-on-white crime rate in Indiana?
Rolling off the top of my head, I don't know that figure for you.
So I'm trying to understand, if you're only mentioning black-on-black crime, how do you not mention white-on-white crime? Because if we're talking about crime in this country, we've seen an explosion in the last several years of crime in rural America that doesn't involve black people.
Right. Although 89% of black people are killing other black people. There was an article, unfortunately I can't share my screen like you can.
Right, but the reality is, if you look at actually crime in America, it typically happens where people live. So typically, if you're black, crime is being committed by someone black, and if you're white, crime is being committed by somebody white. So why is it that no one ever mentions white-on-white crime? Why is it the pathology always black-on-black crime?
Well, I think white-on-white crime is mentioned. I think it is.
No, it's not. It's that phrase is never even used. It's literally never even used.
So then what's it called, Roland?
Oh, it's called, first of all, they just say crime.
When violence happens in a black neighborhood, they can't wait to tell you it was black-on-black crime. And here's the thing. When they say it, they're saying it to try to prove that there must be something barbaric and inherently violent in us that doesn't exist in any other race. But the real truth is crime is local. People hurt the people they're closest to. It's not about black people being violent towards black people because we're evil-hearted and broken. It's about proximity.
If I lived in Xenia, we'd be talking about white-on-white crime. And let's just break this whole thing down. So we've compartmentalized racism so much. So let me say this right now. Honky, 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 honky. Oh, Jesus. There's honky, honky crime in Xenia. Oh, God. And there's black-on-black crime in Cleveland because the populations reflect who is committing the crime.
Right.
So in Cleveland, obviously in Cleveland, not Cuyahoga County, but Cleveland, big black population, there's a propensity of black-on-black crime. If you take and expand that outside into the county, then it becomes more white-on-white crime. The numbers reflect the population.
Now let's bring up statistics because y'all love using these. We got 3 FBI crime stats from 2017, 2018, and 2019. So in 2017, white people accounted for 80% of other white murders. In 2018, it was 80.75%, and in 2019, it was 78.62%. Now here's the black stats. From 2017 to 2019, it was consistent at about 88%. And just by me comparing the two, yes, black murders are higher, but white-on-white crime is real too. And I can say this honestly as a young black man, we do need to do better. But the problem is always the cherry picking.
Black-on-black crime is like a marketing slogan that people use without even knowing what it actually means. You just heard Unc and Antonio break down the actual stats. It clearly shows you that people commit crimes based on who they live by and who they're most likely to encounter. So the question you have to ask yourself is this: why are we the only people branded by it?
Black people, brown people do not use drugs more than white people. But when you associate the two and then you can criminalize them, you can criminalize people for being black. John Ehrlichman, a strategist for Nixon, saying, "We knew we couldn't make it illegal to be either against the war or black. But by getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and blacks with heroin and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities and vilify them night after night on the evening news. Did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did. The war on drugs is a Reagan-era policy. And the news was hook, line, and sinker on board. And all day long, every day on the news, it was images of black people getting arrested and crime and horror. And it worked. From 1926 to 1986, the black percentage of people in prison doubles. Those of us in the population remain the same.
We all know what this is. The media cooked up black-on-black crime to try and convince every other race that we're the problem. Because if every other group of people woke up and realized that white extremists are the actual issue, guys like Donald Trump and Ronald Reagan would never get elected. The good old boys club would get dismantled, and they would be forced to play on an even playing field. And when it all comes down to its simplest form, that's what they want to avoid. You don't find it odd that they're the only group of people that want to be superior over everybody else? I think they do that because they know if it was equal treatment, and everybody had to start from the same spot, and it was black people, the Asians, the Chinese, the Indians, the Latinos, the Africans, and any other race or ethnicity you can think of. I think they know that as a group of people, in that race, they would be somewhere near the bottom. Because if I really thought I was smarter than everybody, more innovative than everybody, and better than everybody at everything you could think of, why would I care if everything was equal? I'm out.
The black on black crime argument was always racist propaganda. Notice how people never use the black on black crime argument to actually point out systemic oppression, but only as a tool to dismiss any grievances that the black community might have about systemic oppression. Same way they responded to the Black Lives Matter movement with All Lives Matter in an attempt to dismiss the disproportionate police brutality that the black community has experienced for generations. They use black on black crime to reinforce the age-old white supremacist propaganda that black people are more violent, more threatening to society. Basically, they're saying, why should we even care that police may or may not be brutalizing them if black people do it to their own communities? And I know a couple of simple-minded people might be listening to this and going, so are you saying that black people never commit crimes? No, you silly goose. Crimes are committed across every community, and that's the point. You never hear anybody arguing about white on white crime or Asian on Asian crime, Hispanic on Hispanic crime, etc., but they're super quick to throw around the phrase black on black crime. Whenever the black community speaks out against socioeconomic injustice and abuse, they never use this argument to advocate for black people, only against black people. It's a protest to a protest. This phrase is only ever used to argue in bad faith and to perpetuate the character assassination of black people.